Hey everybody, Alyssa here from Becoming Memories. Thanks for joining me for another process video. This one is just for fun using some October afternoon and scrapbooking a Halloween picture that I've had around for about 3 years now. Probably not too long before or after I guess this October afternoon paper was made. So I did recently restock my October afternoon stash, and if you would like to see the video of what I found and where I found it, you can check back on my channel. If I remember, I will link up the haul video in the description below. But I'm not always the greatest at remembering, so you can always go back on my channel to the playlist called Hauls and find that. So this is, of course, the Pirate Map, I think, collection from October afternoon. And those are my kiddos. I have a scarecrow, a stormtrooper, and of course a pirate. And so I actually, when I saw this picture and I saw this collection, and I immediately put them together in my head, and it just took me a while to get around to making them meet up. So here we are. So I had this background and I did a little mixed media on it, mostly just some lines with a ruler and some mist quite a while ago, and then I never got around to finishing it. So I decided to pull it out. I think it was actually I think I had actually stuck it in with this paper. I can't remember now. It's actually been about a month since I filmed this, and I'm horrible about sometimes if I don't have a deadline to do a voiceover and the video editing, it kind of gets pushed off in favor of everything that does have a deadline. So anyhow, I've had this for a while. I decided to pull it out and use it because when I start a mixed media background and don't end up using it, I do like to eventually get back to it and pull it out and use it. So that is that. And I decided those lines needed to be darker, so I kind of was going back and filling them in here with a ruler and a Sharpie. And I think I end up doing more of that ruler and Sharpie thing here in just a little while. And right now I was trying to decide right there if I wanted to add some more mixed media, but I decided to wait because I was too impatient to do it now and I would have to wait for it to dry. I can be very impatient at times. I put that pirate sticker with the treasure chest there on a piece of packaging so that I could move it around, and now I'm using another piece of packaging to put my title on because I'm not entirely sure yet this is going to be the final arrangement here. And October afternoon is just, it's too precious to put stuff on and move it around and take it off and not use it. So I decided to use that pirate though with the pirate chest because a lot of this collection is very pirate themed. And it's not that often that I get a pirate-themed photo, I'll be really honest. So when I get one, I gotta use it. So I decided to go ahead and stick my photo and those 2 3x4 cards down, and then stick that banner sticker on there. And somewhere right about here, I'm deciding that this is going to be the final arrangement, but I go ahead and add in a few more details before I really adhere everything down for good. This tab, okay, so these tabs on this sticker sheet were kind of weird. They're actually printed what to me seems upside down, and maybe I'm just not used to how I'm not sure. They just seemed upside down to me, and it was weird, and I was having a hard time working with it. So I don't know. I'm not sure what that was all about, but anyway, I stick that label sticker there. It ends up not staying, but it's there for now. And you know what's really funny about this collection? I love October afternoon. I love these patterns. There are some patterns in this collection that really speak to me, but I do actually find that I struggle at times with some of these bigger stickers, like that bigger pirate with the pirate chest. And also, I felt like an idiot because after I finished this, I realized I had a different sheet of October afternoon stickers that was maybe borders, I think. And I never pulled it out. And there were a few on there that would have been perfect with this. But, what are you going to do, right? So I did struggle a little bit, though, to find small, detailed kind of pieces to add little detaily bits to the page. And so I think that was why I was shuffling things around so much, because generally when my pages kind of come together, they come together with little clusters of things that I feel like work well together, and that's kind of what seals the deal for me. And so I was having a hard time doing that with this layout. So what I end up doing here is I'm expanding that shape, that rectangle on the background. And this is just going to kind of help close the whole thing in for me. It kind of makes that pirate feel like he belongs. It gives me kind of a place to ground all of my embellishments. And also, I end up using this little box for my journaling lines. And so one of the things that I have found when I have a layout where I just feel like everything's kind of floating and I'm struggling to figure out where it goes, or maybe I just feel like it's not all connecting to each other very well, is drawing some lines and making some shapes on the background and then maybe adding a little mixed media. You'll see there that my mist, that of course was on the page before I even started today, actually is mostly contained inside of that rectangle now. And it kind of suddenly felt like a whole other layer to this whole thing when I added that, or completed, I should say, that rectangle. So maybe give that a go sometime, especially if you have a little bit of mixed media on your background and it's not quite turning out the way that you thought, and you're like, what do I do now? Try closing it in with some Sharpie lines and see what you think, because I've done that more than once and actually have found that it adds a graphic element that kind of balances out that loose and fancy, free, artsy, mixed media feeling when I'm feeling the need for some more structure. That, of course, was absolutely the technical term for that. So just in case you were wondering, don't ask me to repeat it because I have no idea what I just said. Anyway, that word, of course, says pirate. And now with these tiny little letters, I'm going to spell out more than just a pirate up above. Up above pirate, it's going to say more than just a. And then after pirate, I'm going to put in this pic. Short for picture. More than just a pirate in this picture. So it's kind of a long title, but I love those little white Teresa Collins letters because there's a ton of them in the book. I believe there's 6 full sheets, and I don't know, it's like a bazillion letters in there. And I got that for $1.99 at Tuesday morning, and I wish they had more because I would buy more. If I saw them again, I would buy every single one that they had. And hopefully they get them again and they have 50 of them, because I will buy 50. They're just amazing. I think I've gone through 2 or 3 pages of them already, and I'm already wishing I had bought more. Actually, I'm looking at the package now, and there's 900 in there. I've completely thrown away the first sheet. The second sheet is pretty much demolished, and I'm well into the third sheet. So at some point, I'll probably go through and move the few letters left on sheet number 2 to sheet number 3 and throw that away as well. The only complaint I have about these is that they don't really stick very well in the sticker book. They do tend to kind of want to jump around, but once you get them on the paper, I haven't had any problems with the adhesive. So anyhow, there we are, finished with the title. At this point, I have a few finishing details. Those are some enamel shapes there, dots, stars. Those are from Studio Calico way back when. And the yellow is not a perfect match, but close enough to the gold coins in that pirate treasure box. And I think I completely killed the sheet on this layout. Ah! I just feel like that noise is in order. Like there should be angels rejoicing when I kill an entire sheet of something, and I'm sure my husband probably would feel the same way if I actually told him how much was in my stash. Anyway, let's move on. Here are some brads. These are also from that treasure map collection, and this is the very first time I've broken into them. I am not a very good brad user, but I am trying to get better at using brads, and I like to use this little Cricut tool. My cousin gave it to me. I have no idea what it's actually for. I imagine it has something to do with a Cricut, but I don't have a Cricut. I have a Silhouette. I have a Silhouette tool that I use. It's like a spatula tool that I use, and I'm not really sure how I would choose this. Maybe it's to poke out the little bits. Actually, I bet that's it. I bet it's to poke out the little bitty bits that are left, like in, you know, when you pull off a thing and there's like little tiny pieces that don't want to pop out. I bet that's what that's for. And actually, I lied. I think I have used it for that in the past. So anyhow, it also makes great brad hole poker, and that is what I'm using it for today. So I've stuck a little enamel dot right there between those two brads. Not really sure why I did that, but I left it. It's all right. Probably didn't need it, but you know, hey. Now we are doing some black Tattered Angels Mist. That color is called Coal. It's a plain Jane, and I don't think it's available anymore, but it does make exceptional black spatters, and I'm going to miss it very much when it is gone. It's well on its way. I have been using that a lot lately. So here's a little, this was out just a couple of seconds ago. It was a speech bubble, and now it's just a oval label that says the adventure begins. This was from our fall party at church 2016. Yeah, don't judge. I am a few years behind. But, you know, what are you going to do? Life with 4 kids means less time for scrapbooking and more photos. I like to tell myself that I have 4 children so that I never run out of photos. And my oldest and my youngest are 12 years apart. So that means by the time the youngest graduates from high school, I should have grandchildren from the oldest, right? Of course, right. And therefore I have a lifetime of scrapbooking ahead of me without ever having to worry about running out of photos. And yeah, so that's the plan. One of these days I'll catch up to within 6 months or so and still have plenty of photos to never have to worry about running out. So now I decide I need a frame around this, and I do need a frame around this. But I was very reluctant to cut into another sheet of treasure maps, so I end up going to the same paper that I used to map my photo, and I put strips around the edge. And I did have to do a little finagling there with my trimmer to make sure that I cut a row of dots, because the dots, well, I did waste a little bit of paper trying to make sure that I had a perfect row of dots for each side of the page, but I think it was well worth it because I really like the effect that has. And right there I had to take off a few enamel dots and little bits to get that strip in there, and then I just put them right back on once my strip was on there. So that was a little thumbs up going, hey, yep, it's in there, it's all good. I think this is just about it. I'm going to add a few more black spatters. I'm touching the tip of the sprayer thing there to make sure that I get a couple of dots exactly where I want them, and remembering now that I forgot to glue down those little green photo corner pieces. I did like how that just kind of emphasized that rectangle in the background and really just drew your eye in to the photo and to the embellishments. So other than adding my journaling, that is the final layout. Here are some close-ups. Thank you so much for taking a peek. I hope you enjoyed, and if you would hit the thumbs up, the subscribe button, and the notification bell, I would love that so much. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.